Section 4, Employment Information, is on the page 2 of 5 of the loan application as 1003. Let's talk about the employment first. The information that the lender requires the applicants to disclose employment information on the under the employment section, the name of the employer, the address, the complete address. This information here that vary depend on the type of employment. Let's say that if you work for the Navy, for example, they may have certain address on the W-2, but the place you work may be in the base somewhere. The lender understand that. Let's say you work for IBM, for example. You may be stationed in Bethesda, Maryland, but the human resources could be somewhere else. It gets tricky when you get down to it. What I advise to do is whatever the applicants tell you. Let's say if the applicant work for IBM, and they say, I work at this location so-and-so. That's where you need to put this information down. The position, in this case, is quality control manager. And the type of business, for this type of business is on-site e-discovery. It's just a mailing service. So you can dash and say mailing service. This individual been on the job for 3 years and 10 months. He's worked in this field for 12 years, and there's a phone number there. Now, the underwriter look at something like this. They determine the degree of stability on this job. So let's say you work more than 2 years, 3 years and 10 months. That's more than enough. It's more than what the lender would require. So that determines that his employment is stable. And why is that? Because he has a stable income. Now, can the underwriter verify the information? In other words, what you put on here, that the question is, yes, you have stable income. The thing is that if they want to verify or re-verify the employment and the income, can they do that? That's the question. So you as the originator, you're supposed to put down what the client tell you. And then it depends on the process of the skill that they go verify the employment based on what you have. Coupled with the W-2, pay stub, and things like that, or tax return. So with that, they be able to verify the employment. And whatever you do, you put on a 1003, we like to have all the documents that can support whatever you put on 1003, particularly employment. And it gets tricky. Now, there's one block on that, it's called self-employed. Now, if you own your business, that's where you need to check for self-employed. There's a line right underneath of the quality control manager. It's footnote as follows. If employee in the current position for less than 2 years, or if currently employed in more than one position, complete the following. Now let's say that you have a job that is only a year. So the underwriter needs 2 years. So the second block down, that's where you put your previous employment. Now let's say you have a part-time job. Where you put it, that's where you go. You put underneath of this. And the date, you got to state the date from the date you start to present. Then they know this is the part-time job. And this is not hard at all if you go full doc. That means you have the tax return or you have the W-2 and pay scroll to support that. The underwriter can be more lenient if you write it in incorrect or something like that. But in case you go to the state income, so that means they don't see any paperwork at all. They don't have any support document. The only thing they lean on that is the exact employee's name and address and phone in your position. So you got to be very accurate. One of the things that I do as an add-on is a hint that I use certain websites like yellowpages.com, 411.com, switchboard.com, that kind of thing to verify the name of the employer, the address, and then the phone. So you can enter the name and address. The search could be search for the phone, or you put in the phone, they could search for the name of the employers and the address. And that's probably a good tool for the sales manager, processor, and also the originator to have. And that is the complete of Section 4, Employment Information.